Hello Stamper, welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm Frances Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and today it's all about the Buffalo Chick background stamp that I'm going to share tips for this. Here it is on red, so real red on real red. Here it's on white and with extra checkers if you see. So I'm going to share all this in one video. So let's get started. First thing that I'm using a piece of grid paper that we sell. It's the small pack of grid paper that fit exactly their design for the Stamparatus. So you can order them on my blog. I'm going to have the link below, or you can use a plain piece of paper there. But I recommend that you use paper. So you get in the centimeters and then you get in inch. I like to use this side. It doesn't matter what size that you want. Put your let's put a clear case under here, and that's going to help when you want to ink. Now I don't want to touch this because I get ink, but I'm still going to touch it. What is a live stamping without having inky fingers, right? The first thing I want to do is just line that up, and I try to line that up right at the edge here and right at the edge there. Now I take my plate, let me wipe my finger just a little bit here, and put that here. Now let's lift this up, and whatever color you're going to use, I'm just thinking that checker, it's so beautiful in red, you can use any colors, and ink this well, and close this. Now lift this up. And this one, I recommend that you use a piece of tape, a two-sided tape. And I am using the removable double-sided tape that you can find at Office Supplies, Amazon. That's what I use. And the reason why I'm using this and not the, what it's called, the magnet, it's because my piece of paper is as big as the stamp. So the magnet, except if I would start with a bigger piece and then trim it, and I don't want to do that. We're going to go with a piece of Whisper White that measures 5 1/4 by 4. And now I can line this up that it's straight here because I know where my stamp is. Otherwise, it's very hard to mount that correctly. So I'm going to try to mount that it's about the same proportion on each side. And this way, my paper going to stay there. The only thing, if that slides, it's this. So now we're going to take our ink again, ink this. Let's make sure I'm in the view. Oh, I can move this a bit here. So it's all in the view. Et voila. Now I'm going to take this, smack this down. Good impression. Don't worry if it lifts. Well, come back here. That didn't happen earlier. Here we go. Now I want to have that very bright red. So I'm going back at it. And you just don't worry about your paper because it's stuck there. So it's just your grid paper there. Go back down, give another good impression, and whatever how many times you want, depends how bright you want and so on. So I think twice for me is going to be enough. That looked pretty good. That looked very good, to be honest. So now we're going to remove this. Now I'm done with this. Now you're just going to take this and keep the sticky there. If the sticky stay there, bring it back here. Now we're going to use a regular grid paper. Again, we sell these grid paper, or you can use another paper. I thought that everyone was lining up perfectly. Well, the first one, it's kind of right, and then it's not the same proportion there. And I try on the centimeters here, and see the first square was almost just right, but then it get off more, and off more. So it's hard to go by that. So whatever that you want, I'm starting the first one there, it's right there and right here. So you could move it every time. because this is a little bit smaller than the grid. So you can move it every time, or you can eyeball it like this. I'm taking a ruler. I'm using my marker right now. I'm using, it's Coastal Cabana. And with Coastal Cabana, also, we're going to jazz it up a little bit more. I'm going to use olives. So what I done for the first one, I'm using the fat tip because I want a bigger thing. I just lined up my first one there at the line, and here at the line, and I go down. Then the second one I know, so it gives me an idea about how much that I go in. I'm looking about, okay, that much. Or like I said, you can move it a little bit every time, or you can just eyeball it like I do. So I just gonna eyeball it. And if they want to measure if it's all correct, well, that's okay. I keep them busy for an afternoon, right? Here we go. It's not completely straight. It is good for me. Or you can measure it. Now, you want to have a napkin or a rag and wipe the side of your ruler. See? Now, I'm going to take this. I'm going to put that over here. Now, I'm going to use the old olive. I'm going to take my old olive, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just eyeballing it. Just make sure it's straight. The reason why I like the grid paper, I can see if my ruler is straight there and my ruler is straight there. And if that is straight, then I go down and down. And you can add more lines. This is just, you know, a little bit more. ISO mini with many more lines. Here we go. And to be honest, I think that I would turn it around, and beside the blue, I would add maybe another green there. But you know what? I'm keeping it this way. So that's it. How you're going to add more of the checkers to your project. See, you get all those extra lines now. This is it, my friend, for my tip of the day for the buffalo check. So I will have the link below or above, in the eye there, in the description. You're going to have the link of my blog, and to get all the supplies to make this, the stamp apparatus, the grid paper, and so on. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time, happy stamping, my friend. Bye-bye for now.